Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Somarinoa. Welcome to Somarinoa Plays, part 2 of our playthrough of What Remains of Edith Finch. I was going to say Finch, I don't know why. The last we left off, we had completed Barbara with a really cool Tales from the Crypt. I know it wasn't not the actual comic that Crypt was from, but Tales from the Crypt style Halloween music horror event. It was really cool. I liked it a lot, actually. Okay. Arbor Street. Everybody wants one of those. Pink Felix cat? Nasty ass cake? Old phone. Nice. Okay. There's the dress she was wearing. Is there not a way out of here? Maybe we gotta go through the... I'm guessing I'm supposed to go through the basement now, because they told me how to get the key.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
That is funny. I'm laughing really hard, actually. What if you can get that early? If you just keep winding it. Jittery, but accurate. But how I walk downstairs. I have this thing about fake like companies in like games and shows and everything. That's just for some reason I don't know. Can't jump, of course. Polar white bleach. I need to stop. Sorry. Does he stop? Absolutely not. Do you care? I don't know. Probably. Snug, tight, homes, man. All these companies. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like Wolf Cola, for instance, in Always City in Philadelphia. And I think I've seen it in a couple other things. I know that that's mainly because they use the same,
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I know they use the same assets for stuff that they've already created, but really that does sort of create like a whole, like, alternate universe. And everything, there is the whole St. Elsewhere verse, which,
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
which I'm a fan of. Not why it's all part of the same universe, but just that it is part of the same universe.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Dead.
Turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
I'm gonna have to fight a hunter in here.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Alvino's cereal. Aw, yeah. Wow. Not even a company. Taste Benny Blue's Tasty Beans. Okay.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
I gotta be like the only person who like really kind of focuses on this sort of stuff, huh? That makes my channel unique, right? Weird yet unique.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Man, stop giving me all these little, you know, fake companies. Guess I'm gonna have to go that way. So you started hiding in a bunker?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Can't get past the stool. Wouldn't want to do that. So I guess he went into hiding after he saw his sister die. Or heard his sister die, more like. Thinking there was a monster after him, and went into the bunker. I'd love to see a game that took the effort of having all these books and having them all different. I know that would take a lot of, you know, useless effort, but it would be so cool.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
Red Farm tomato ketchup, as opposed to mustard ketchup. Yeah.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin.
Pork chunky
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Too dark. Not worth it. Too slow.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Oh, that's terrible. Of course, it was just a train.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Maybe she didn't know. Wow, what a shitty way to go. Oh my god.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Someone I knew just died by train, actually, so.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Forward monsters, where's that? Malevolent monsters. Next to the dark defense.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
What else hasn't she not told you about?
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Yeah. Sweet Odie Farms, peanut butter creamy.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Oh, is this like his... Oh, that's his dump. I see. Okay. Fair enough.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
What is that light out there?
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
What was out there? Is it just a movie? a wrecked buoy.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Must be the town nearby. Yeah. What if it's just in two spots though? Maybe it's two different towns. Depending on how far away it is.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Gary's biting mix, okay. Great. Alright. It's the swing. You're not bringing it down?
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Wait, what's over here? Can I do anything over here? Escape? No. Okay.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
One with a tragedy, of course.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Zerpy, lurpy, furpy, chirpy, burpy. Derpy, derpy, Jimmy. Is Christopher, Fish? Oh, that was, what's her name's Fish? Molly's Fish. So sad. I had a cat named Zoe. Yeah, I am gonna make articles on all this for my wikis that I do. Should I be doing this on my own time? Yeah, probably.
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, that's the house.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Sam Finch died pretty recently. Well, I mean, still 40 years, 41
She
years
lost
old.
2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Who's Sanjay Kumar? He doesn't have the same name.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
What? You're pregnant? Oh. Is that who you're writing this for? For your kiddo? You don't want her to walk across the glass as if it's dangerous? Couldn't imagine why.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Just you can beat this game without actually looking up your family history.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
that's weird that he has a cat. Taxidermy. No offense if you have one. Just not very, common. That's all. K. Finch. Should you leave him, or?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Nothing quite like being outside.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely will. Hey!
That's a keeper.
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see. Maybe. Was it? Could have been.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Great shot, Don! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Bet she never hunted again. So, no, turn it, go back. MREs.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot. I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
House rules. No playing outside without permission. No answering the door for strangers. No messes after dark. All chores before dark. Respect others. Oh my god. Military family. A lot of chores. Or, you know, everything done. Oh no. This might be a bad one.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Ooh-ha.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Knock all these down. Almost. You got this. Oh, hey, there's a team. Gregory, knock all the tiles. Here's his name into that. I don't want to kill him, man. Come on.
It sure made him happy. I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could.
Oh,
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
come on, don't.
I wish you could have told us about the world we saw.
I'm sorry, guys.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Okay, that one. That one breaks the heart a little bit. Sorry, guys, I didn't make this. Really set dead. Yeah, I suppose so. Hey, I have a cousin named Gus. He's a skateboard.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Actually, my cousin Gus did pretty well. I think he's married to like a famous French artist or something. I haven't seen him in decades. We grew up together.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her. We don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. To make
Might not be
him cry.
decades, but it was a long time.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, that's who Sanjay is. Okay, that makes sense. Company passport for volunteer center. Meet with relief rep. After school teaching. PAC. Fly to India. 2 ways to teach critical thinking for the homeschool student and teacher. Oh, I can move. Okay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Jeez, that was quick. And then only a couple of months you got pregnant, huh? Damn.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
What about bubble? What's that? It's a cat food.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
You're the top man? I don't think so.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Less rules.
But it didn't last.
that's pretty old. There's more kingdoms than that. Relief effort ends in disaster. Hundreds of relief volunteers are injured or dead after the effects of a second earthquake. Looks so badly photoshopped. Scientific method.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Is he simply in that door?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
So is he trapped in there?
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
This is the legalized marijuana. Okay. This room with an actual boat. Wow.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Okay. No. Back, you jerk. He's a gamer.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Same. For a guy who's played games his whole life, I'm not the best. But I never said it was. I am, however, persistent.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
Oh no, shoot. Do you live? Haha.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to... wander.
Oh, I see. It's a... You can do both.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
She said. Also, just something to get away from, distracted.
Then something moved.
Go. Oh.
Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
I'm gonna chop my hand off the next one, alright?
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Let's not cover the whole thing.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
That name sucks. I mean, to be fair, you should store Sylvania.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her
Electric sitar for sure.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
This is the cannery, it could just be fish blood.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Yeah, I don't want to have to kill this guy in here. Let's phrase that right.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
The champion jacket.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So we're missing. Looks like we're only missing 2 more people. But that is a good spot for us to stop for this episode. Tune in next time, and we're probably gonna finish this up, I would assume. I'll see you guys then. Here on Somarinoa Plays.